Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the last Cloudia video, and today we're going to be looking at the new banner, Melza, in complete waifu mode. She has a complete revamp of a design, which I love, compared to, if you don't know, if you're new to the game or you've come back, but you don't remember much of the early game, the Melzas that came out in the past were some of the first units in the game, so it kind of makes sense that they redesigned her a lot. Like, it gave her like an HD redesign. That's kind of how it feels like to me. So if you're new to my reviews, we're going to go over both of these two things here, the arc and the unit, and then at the very end, after the review is over, we'll talk about the paid equipment, but they're not part of the review at all. So she's a mixed ice and also fire damage dealer. Hopefully that'll be useful in some way. I'm not sure yet because I don't know. We'll have to find out. But her ice and fire damage gets a huge damage cap increase, and if the enemy's in break, she gets a pretty big SCT recovery. That's pretty good. And then when skill attacking, you get a 20% damage defense debuff for the enemy, so that's pretty good. And then when the special hits an attribute weakness, you get a 15k damage cap increase. But they have to be weak to, I guess it doesn't matter. If they're fire or ice, it doesn't matter. You still get that 15k increase. That's pretty good at least. It doesn't say, oh, you have to be weak to either this or this. It just says when it's weak to something, right? So sorry. And then the bottom ability, you get everybody curse resistance +1, so if they're like weak, then they become neutral. Or it just says remove curse weakness. Okay, that's even better. And then it lasts until they get KO'd. So that's actually very good. That's actually a very unique ability. Kind of very nice support ability there. And then when she's close to death, she gets restores HP. Doesn't say how much, but she gets a huge strength and also defense buff of 100%. And mine 75% once per wave. And then you won't faint from enemy attacks, so she'll be able to, concentrate on what she's doing. So that's all very good. I think that's all very nice. A lot of DPSs don't get something like this, so it's pretty good. And then she has a lot of SE saving stuff, but here we're going to go all the way down to the bottom and look at what these soul things are here. So if you only have one of these equipped, you'll get double the effect. That's what it sounds like to me. So yeah, if you equip only one of these, you get double the effect. So I'm assuming you get 60% fire damage and 1000 or 12k damage cap increase. And with the soul, when no attribute regular weapon hits enemy, soul Von set make attribute fire, and then soul slowly set make attribute ice. Oh, you can equip this no matter what. Okay, this is one of the souls you can actually equip no matter what, I think, right? Because you can equip the other one too, and this one's just the ice version of the fire one. So there's that, and then if you equip the Vaughn, you get a damage cap increase as well to fire. If you equip the seal set, you get damage cap enemies to weak to ice. If you equip the Vaughn set, you get a 50% break increase, and also enemies will take 5k more damage in break. And critical damage, okay, this is all pretty decent. This one's probably the weakest, the shield. Damage taken 20%, and then you take less damage. I mean, it's not really that great. It's okay, but you'd probably rather equip one of these two instead. The skill or the steel, whichever you prefer. And I think fire is probably easier to use in general, but if you feel like you want to use ice, you can too. So she's got Indomitable Spirit, she's got Sharp Eyes, she's got Goddess Kiss, so that's the combo already at SC0. So she has a lot of SC saving stuff in here, which is pretty good. I think I'm going to go ahead and give her an 8.5 out of 10. I think she's very valuable. But at the same time, anniversary is in a few months or so, whenever it is, so I think it's still time to save. Like I have 43k crystals. I don't even feel. You can't see it. Sorry. There's 43k crystals up here, and I still don't feel safe for anniversary time. So, as nice as this unit is, I think I'm just gonna pass. I'd like to pull for her, but you know, I'd rather just skip. So the arc, when HP is 50% or more, which is gonna happen a lot, you're gonna get 35% strength bonus, just like that. And when you have less than 50%, you get a smaller, mind and defense buff. It's not as great, but when you're 50% or higher, you get a pretty good strength buff for free. When you're taking lethal damage, survive, pretty good. And when you battle start, you get on yourself only fire and ice wall. Pretty good against, probably pretty good against the floor 92 boss on tower. And the arc reward is actually pretty good because it does ice and fire damage 10%. Pretty good, and it has a pretty decent strength buff there of 67. So pretty good arc so far, right? You get an ice drive, you get a fire chance, tranquility, life brave. The lower your remaining HP, the higher strength will be. Pretty good. I think this one's pretty good. This might be in another arc though, but this one's pretty good. And then Twin Dragons, you give unit critical rate 50% buff and break 50% buff. Not bad. I think the Life Brave is probably better though, in my opinion. I think that's pretty interesting. Because there are some units that would love to be low HP to do more damage, so pretty good. I give the arc like an 8. The reward is pretty good, the passive is, the trait is pretty good, the skills are pretty good, so 8. I'm gonna give it an 8. Now that the review is over, let's look at the paid equipment. So there's an accessory and a weapon this time, which is preferred. And let's see what it has here. Physical attack damage 20%, damage cap 2k, critical damage cap 1k. Seems okay. Nothing too mind-blowing, but let's look at this one. Continuous brave effect, damage cap to enemies in break 3000. Yeah, neither of these seem really that insane. Usually like one or the other are pretty crazy for the unit, but both of these don't seem that insane. So you might actually have better equipment to equip to her than either of these, which is surprising because lately these have been kind of like one or the other have been like best in slot for them, but neither of these seem that insane. Like I guess if you wanted to pick one or the other, then you probably just pick the sword because it does give some damage cap increases. This doesn't really offer anything. If this was like 10%, even if this was like 10% fire or ice damage increase, that still wouldn't be that amazing. It would just be okay. So yeah, just go with the sword if you could only do one or the other. Or just don't go for either, in my opinion. I think you should just not go for either. Anyways, that's it for the review, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching. Appreciate you. I'm still recovering from being sick, so I was a little slow on the draw on this one, but I tried my best. So appreciate you guys watching all the way through. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.